Well, hello beautiful people, my name is Bridget and welcome back to my channel. Hope you're having an awesome day. You look really cute. I don't know if anybody told you that today, but you look pretty cute. So today we are going to be doing a video on the NikkieTutorials and Too Faced palette. And I know what you guys are thinking, this is old. Well, ever since the Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star series and Jeffree Star talking about it to begin with, the Too Faced and NikkieTutorials collection has come up in conversation a lot these days. We're not going to be talking about like how she only made $50,000 compared to their $10 million or anything like that, allegedly. We're not talking about that. But NikkieTutorials recently did release a bunch of tweets about the situation and how she said that she didn't care about the money she signed the contract, but she did not think the quality of the palette was up to standards that she would hope for. So today we're going to reinvigorate this palette. We're going to give it a nice fresh redo, and we're going to see if this palette was actually good or not at the time it was released to the best of our abilities. So today we're going to talk about the quality of this palette, see if it performs, see if it is really as bad as everyone says it is and all the crap I've heard about it. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into today's video. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, I'd love if you did that. Let's go. Alright guys, so first things first, we need to make sure this palette is as good condition we can. So because this palette is older, like it's not a brand new palette, it's been out for a long time, we want to make sure this is like fresh again, like brand new again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the tape method, which is the best way to get rid of hard pan or any like old eyeshadow you think might be like not great. I did sanitize when I first got this, but I've had it for a while now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the top layer of the shadows. I'm going to put tape on it, I'm going to rub it down and peel it off. So the top layer of shadows, which would be the old, not good, it's already hit oxygen and everything, shadows will be removed. It's not a foolproof method, but it's easier way for me to get like the best quality out of the palette, not how old it is. I want to get the best quality, so I'm going to remove the top layer of all of these shadows. Alright, now we have our refreshed palette. Let's go ahead and dive in. My eyelids are already primed with my normal primer. I'm not doing anything differently. So I'm going to take this Sigma E38 brush, and I'm going to take the shade Ivy to set my primer right underneath my eyebrow bone. I'm not going to set the whole lid. I want the colors to be as pigmented as possible, but I'm going to tuck this underneath my brow bone. So I wanted to do like some colorful like inner corner and outer corner different colors, but there's really not that many mattes in here. There's only 4. It's a lot of shimmers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the shade Pain Killer, which is this shade right here. It's like a kind of cool tone brown, which is a really good crease color. Looks pretty decently pigmented on the brush. I'm going to buff this over our crease. So this color, it's a nice color because it's very cool, but it just kind of want to sticks where you put it. It's kind of hard to blend it out. So I'm having a little bit of a difficult time with that one. I've dipped in 4 times into the color. It's not the most pigmented thing. It's not super unpigmented either. It's very cool, but it's just, it kind of want to sticks where you put it and not blend out very easily. Okay, so I think this is what I got with the brown. Not my favorite. I think I'm just so spoiled with like a good tart eyeshadow, like a brown color lately, that these aren't my favorite. So I'm going to take Makeup and Chill next, which is this shade right here. I'm going to start deepening up our crease with that same brush. There's just so many freaking shimmers in this palette, and they're all colorful shimmers. So like, why is there only 4 brown matte shades? Like, you have a white matte, a black matte, and 2 browns. Like, there's no colorful mattes in this palette whatsoever. Even if you wanted to use the bronzer as a brown, it probably would have been a better choice. But I guess we're not judging the selection in this video. So this darker brown was easier for me to work with. I felt like it wasn't as hard to blend that one out. It just, the mix of the two together aren't my favorite in the world, and my lid looks weird now, so it's empty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a shimmer. So I'm going to take, let's take 2 shimmers. I'm going to do Sugar Coated and Irresistible. So for the inner portion of the lid, I'm going to use Sugar Coated, which is this light pink. I want to see if it actually shows up as a light pink. And then for the outer lid, I'm going to use this shade, which is Irresistible, and it is a gold. Or should I use the purple one? Everything else is pink. I'm just going to use the pinks. So this is a Wet n Flat E58 brush, and I'm just going to tuck it. So the payoff on this with the wet brush actually is pretty nice. It doesn't really come off as pink though. It kind of comes off as like a white kind of color. It doesn't really come off as pink, but it is actually paying off really nicely. But it just looks like a white shimmer on my lid, which I'm not complaining about. I love a white shimmer. I actually changed my mind about the gold shimmer. I think what we're going to do is we're going to go into the purple one because that's the one I feel like is kind of like the brightest in the palette. We're actually going to use the purple one, which is called Wham Bam. I don't understand the name there. Maybe I should have watched that reveal video before I did this again. It's been forever. So this is a shimmer. And normally I don't think a shimmer formulation would change very much. But like, you notice how sparkly and pretty the one shimmer is, and then this one's just there, but it's not as like, I guess, impactful as it looks in the pan. Like, that looks very bright. This does not. Even, let me pop with my finger, maybe. And get better payoff with my finger. That is brighter, but it's still not to the vibrancy of what's in the pan, even with my finger. So that's kind of disappointing. I don't know. You think a purple would just be purple, especially a shimmer, like a matte, maybe a little patchy. That's why I don't really wear purple eyeshadow like that. But you think a shimmer would be a shimmer. I'm packing on more of that light pink shimmer over top of the purple, just because I feel like the purple didn't really, I don't know, it didn't like pop the way I thought a purple would apply my finger. It looks okay with the brush. Like, it still just isn't super impactfully purple, which is fine. I'm gonna go back in with the Makeup and Chill dark brown shade a little bit over the top of these. I'm not gonna really touch the shimmers. I'm just gonna go over it just a little bit, darken up this area. Alright, so this is our top lid. It looks okay. The pink shimmer I really like, even though it's not pink. The darker brown matte's fine. The lighter brown matte really stuck and didn't want to blend out. And the purple is not as impactful as I was hoping this like wham bam purple was gonna be. So for the lower lash line, I'm gonna take the black shade of Wanted on a little Luxie mini flat angled brush. This is kind of like a little flat dome top. And I'm just gonna do the outer corner of my lower lash line with this black. I'm gonna try to pack it and then blend it just so we can get like the most black out of it under the lower lash line. And then I'll kind of fade it towards the middle because I don't want it super dark in the inner portion of my eye. Alright, so my eyeshadow is done. The black was fine. It's kind of like a charcoal. It's not really a black, but I think if you really packed it on and built up, you could probably get it there. So, black's okay. I'm going to pop on some mascara, lashes, lipstick, and I'll be right back and we can try the blushes as well as the highlighter. Alright, so I am back. My eyes are kind of red right now. I'm sorry. There's a bunch of lights around. It's fine. So let's move on to the blush and highlighter in the palette. So I'm going to start off with the I Will Always Love You little peachy blush, and then we'll do the pink one on the other side. I don't have anything to do today, so it's going to be fine. I'm going to take it on this little cheek brush from Real Techniques. It picks up pretty decently. Ooh, it's very orangey. It's actually a really cute blush color. Like, I'm not usually too crazy on peachy looking blushes. This is actually really nice. I don't even know if it picks up on camera because blush is one of those things that's better looking in person. I usually blend mine into my contour, and this is, I like this blush color. So this one, no complaints about. This one is a really cute color. It's not as like glowy as it kind of looks like in the pan. It's very matte looking, but whatever. Let's do the Justify My Love, which is the pink on this side. Ooh, it's very pinky. Okay, so this one's not blending as well as the other one did. It is very true to the pinky color, but you can probably tell it's not really blending out for me. It's kind of stuck right here where I put it. You can see the kind of angle of the brush. It doesn't really want to blend out. And the more I do it, I feel like the more I'm just messing up my foundation underneath. So I definitely think the peachier blush is the good one out of the palette. This is very, it looks very patchy now, which does not look, that does not look good at all. This side looks fine. This side, I don't know what happened. So I'm going to take a clean highlighter brush. This is the Sigma F03, which is my favorite highlighting brush. It's clean. And I'm going to take it into the Champagne Truffle shade, which is the big highlighter. And since NikkieTutorials is known for her highlighter, I expect this to be pretty good, I guess. I don't know how much we're supposed to dip in here. It looks good because there's a light right here. But compared to my normal highlight, this is not what I expected. I'm dipping like pretty heavily in here. So it does show up. It's a decent highlighter, but it's not as like, I have her Ofra ones, right? Her Ofra ones are like, you barely touch into there. This one I'm really scraping in there to get a good highlight off. And it is very pretty, but it looks more gold than pink. This comes off as kind of like a gold reflect, not a pink one in my eyes. On camera it might look pink, I don't know. So I definitely can get the highlighter to work. That looks really nice. We'll try the other side too. This has the good light in front of it, so this can be the better side for you guys to see it. But it's definitely not as good as her Ofra highlighters. Ofra highlighters are like so soft and buttery, you like barely touch into the pan. This one I'm like scraping around in here to get the highlight out. Even though we did take off the top layer, so it shouldn't be that hard. It's just, this takes like some building up to get really nice. Which, like, some highlighters take some building up. I'm not really going to complain about that too much. Other than the fact that, like, for being a NikkieTutorials palette, I would expect it to be, like, easier to use for the highlight shade. I would use the Chocolate Soleil bronzer shade. However, that bronzer shade is too warm for me. So. This side looks beautiful with the nice blush, the nice lighting. This side, the blush looks weird. The highlight looks fine. It's not going to be as like blinding as the other one was. But the blush itself looks really patchy on me. This side looks great. This side not so much. So, overall, let's talk about what I think of the palette. So I think because I didn't use every single shade before we really talk about it, I should give it some swatches. So let's go ahead and do the swatches of this palette. I'm going to do a swirly and then do like this up down motion to every single one of them, not dipping in multiple times. We're just going to see how it swatches. Alright, so here are the swatches of the palette. My swatches don't look as bad as some that I've seen on the internet. I haven't like watched a review of it, but I've seen like the swatch pictures and stuff of this palette. My light shimmers look okay, like they look fine, they look shimmery. Even these, like the blue shimmer, doesn't look great. These mattes, look at the mattes here. That doesn't really swatch. And of course, the swatch is not a true test of a palette. That's why I did these after the look. Just because I feel like I wanted to go ahead and test the palette out and get my opinion of it before I swatched it. Because I knew the swatches were not up to par according to everyone else. But like, these mattes are really desperately bad. For being a brown, you think it'd be easy. The black does not look black. The peachy blush looks good. The pink one's still a little bit patchy, but shows up. I can't even see the highlighter, and this bronzer shade swatched terribly. So here are the swatches of the palette. Now let's talk about what I think. I think everyone was right in saying this palette was not up to quality. I do think it's like an average Too Faced palette. Too Faced has some really great products and some really bad products. I think this is somewhere in the middle because some of the things in here did work okay and some of them just didn't blend. The highlighter wasn't as like easy to use as of other highlighters that she really loves. So for me, I do think this palette was as bad as everyone said. I do feel bad for Nikkie in this situation with how much money she made compared to Too Faced. But we're not getting into that controversy. This is literally just because Nikkie said that stuff about like she signed for the amount of money. That's her fault, but the palette quality wasn't what she was expecting. And the palette quality is kind of like an palette from Too Faced. Some of the things like this blush right here and the pretty white shimmery stuff, well, it was supposed to be a pink, but it's turned to white shimmery stuff, looked okay. The purple was not up to par. I feel like the light brown was pretty patchy. And I don't know, it just wasn't my favorite palette to use. It's not a fun time using this palette because it took longer to do my eyeshadow than it normally does. So anyways, you guys, that is it for today's video. Please let me know if you got this at launch. What did you think? Do you still have it? And one thing that I I remember this from thinking this the day she released the launch video, which was like forever ago, right? Does anyone know why she had a Better Than Sex purple mascara in the set with this? Like, it was something else in a purple Better Than Sex mascara. I never understood why she had a purple mascara in this set. I know it was an exclusive because it's purple mascara, but I never seen NikkieTutorials wear purple mascara, so I didn't understand that. Does anyone else? Why was there a purple mascara in this set? I don't get that. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know down below what you think, and I will see you in the next video. If you're not subscribed already, I'd love if you did that. It's free and we could be friends. Alright, bye.